tonight. Coach, author, speaker, Army veteran, all things to everybody. Naturalista doing the vegan and the juicing thing, but y'all already know how it goes, right? So I'm gonna let her introduce herself, but first, we got to share this thing. So while we are waiting for it to load, I see it. So Leticia, if you want to go to my Facebook page, you'll see it. And then you can share it on your page.
All right,
then we will get started. Hope y'all having a good Sunday. So let me tell y'all while I'm doing this. Normally I wait until after I do my lives to eat, but I hadn't eaten all day and food was smelling good, so I ate. So if I nod off a little bit, don't worry about it. Just, mind your business. I'll be back.
All right, I shared it.
Okay. So then while you're waiting on me, why don't you go ahead and tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Oh, so can you hear me fine? Because my mic saying it's not. You can hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Okay, well, cool. Well, hello, everybody. How you doing this evening, this nice, cool evening, which has been a long time coming. But they could have left the rain, but, I'm okay with the cold, but the rain could have left and went somewhere else. But anyway, my name is Leticia B, for those that may not know me. And as Tanoa said, I got a lot of titles behind me. I don't even want to call them titles. I do a lot of different things. How about that? So I'm a coach. A TV talk show host of Overcoming and Becoming. I'm an author of 3 books actually, and in the process of a 4th book. My first book was Resurrection: Life After the Death of Your Child, and that is a book that actually started my entire journey of becoming Leticia B. What else we got to know? A veteran, 11 years in the Army, over 20 years in corporate America as an IT senior leader. Whew.
Girl, you only name one book. You got 2 more.
One book. Okay, my second book is Unleash the Woman Inside of You: 7 Essential Ingredients, which is actually a parlay from the resurrection. Because basically, what that book does is, when you've lost your child, because I tell the journey of my son and coming back from the death of my son. When you lost your child, the person you used to be, she's gone. So you have to develop into another person. You have to become somebody else because the old you is gone. So that book actually guides women to becoming another version of themselves. Yeah. And it has a complimentary plan that goes along with it. See, there you go. You forgot to mute your phone, girl.
Then that's me. I'm looking at, that's our video that I'm sharing, and it started playing.
Okay.
I'm just loud. I'm loud. Jeez. Okay, go ahead. And then one more book. Unleash
the Woman. It has a complimentary journal that goes along with it. That goes a little bit into details because I am a coach at nature. I'm always about teaching you how to get through something. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the problem, but I'm not one of those to say, okay, here's the problem, here's the end result. How we get there. And so that's what all my books do. It's a blueprint. So if you don't know what to do, you can at least do what I did to get you to the next level, to get you out of the place that you're in right now. And that's right. Actually the same thing that I'm doing with my book that's in process right now. I'm doing a juicing book because, as you mentioned earlier, I juice. I juice a lot. And juicing is a way that I stay healthy. It's a way that I combat this, keep my immune system up to fight this Rona. If she ever comes my way, she's going to be in for a battle because my immune system is on 10 and is ready to fight. So that's one of the things that I do. I juice. So I'm sharing a book of what I do in juicing to keep my immune system healthy, to help fight pain, to help fight inflammation. I'm doing that in the juicing book in collaboration with my daughter.
Okay, right. And I was going to say that. So it's in collaboration with your daughter. If you don't mind sharing a little bit of the story, tell us how you came to that.
Well, sure. My daughter, she was actually diagnosed with 5 autoimmune diseases about 3. I'm going to say she's probably always had them, but the pain of the autoimmune diseases kind of really hit her hard about 3 years ago, where basically here she is 21, 22 years old, and she has so much pain. She has fibromyalgia. She has rheumatoid arthritis. She has ankylosing spondylitis. These are all arthritis of the body, and she's only 21, 22 years old. So basically, it took her life away, the pain. And we went on a natural journey, a holistic journey to help heal her body, because after 3 years of being in the medical profession, we didn't get any relief from the doctor. The medicine didn't work, or it made her worse. So we had to do something different, and we chose different. And that's how we started this collaboration. And I'm actually a co-founder with her in JWU Holistic Healing, because now what we do, we help other women who are dealing with chronic inflammation, chronic pain due to autoimmune disease, but inflammation, to heal their bodies naturally as well.
And I love that. I love that. It's like something happened to you and through you for your daughter. And when you found a way up, you didn't just say, well, this is our path. Now you're trying to find a way to help other people see that there's something other than medicine, that there's a holistic journey.
Exactly.
You know, I've had doctors. I mean, I have so many of the same autoimmune illnesses.
Oh, I know. We had that conversation. I remember we had that conversation when it was like in the height of her illness, and you'd share with me some of your food allergies, and I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? This stuff ain't working. And you was giving me hints, but you know, when you get a little bit here and a little bit there, not really a whole program, it's hard to follow anything. So we had to find a holistic program that took us from A to Z to actually feel the impacts of it, you know, instead of doing a little bit here, a little bit there, and it's not one system.
And what I learned too in my journey is that you have medical doctors who they may know of the holistic path, but they're not going to tell you. I even had one doctor say to me, I am a medical doctor. And even though, yes, I do believe in the holistic path, I am not going to give you a holistic treatment. I'm going to give you medicine. And I was like, I don't want your medicine. So I had to find my own path. I had to find my own journey and my own way through it, because you don't have people out there that want you to do the natural route. They need for you to believe in medicine. And I'm not saying I don't believe in medicine. Please, nobody think that. I take allergy pills 3 times a day sometimes just to stay alive, right? I believe in medicine. I used to live in a hospital when I was growing up. You know, I was asthmatic, but it was really allergy induced. And so I've had several birthdays in a hospital. I love hospital food to this day. That was my first meal. You know, like that's what I knew to be gourmet food, hospital food. So I get it, but I love the path that you guys are on, because a lot of the remedies and a lot of medicine, if you think about it, a lot of medicine is fashioned and purposed after holistic foods and vegetables. Yes.
They're trying to duplicate what food is doing. So I said, why cut the middleman out and go just straight to the source? If you eat to heal, then you don't have to worry about something chemical that your body doesn't know how to process. And, you know, we talk to a lot of our clients and prospects that call us on the phone and basically saying, hey, same thing you said, we love doctors. Doctors has a place in this world. But when it comes to your routine health care, doctors, medical doctors, they are bound to the Hippocratic Oath. Yes. And that's dealing with medicine, not health. Yes. You know, I say, hey, put your health in your own hands. We should not be on medicine for longer than 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to teach your daughter how to overcome and become.
Oh my goodness. Oh yes. Oh yes. That was a journey in itself, because she wasn't ready to let go her old life.
Right.
You know, and I'm a grief coach. I'm a grief coach by training, and dealing with my clients in the past. That's one of the things that I'm always working with them about, is letting go of stuff that you can't control. You cannot control that anymore. That is something that's happened. This is your life, and you have to embrace it. And she wasn't ready to embrace this new holistic life just yet, because she's 20-something years old. She's like, why I got to change my whole life? Why I can't be like my friends? Why I can't go out and party and eat this and drink this? Why? I'm like, because that's not your life. That's not your life anymore. You have a new path, and you have to embrace it. So that embracing part is hard for everybody, no matter what it is.
No matter what it is. And in order to overcome anything, you have to be willing to sit in the midst of the journey. And a lot of times when people are looking to overcome, they want we can say we're looking to overcome and to transform, right? But really, we're looking for some quick fix that's going to make us feel good and feel better in the midst of the journey. And we don't want to deal with the pain of the journey itself. And sometimes overcoming or transforming or becoming that butterfly, right? And being that beautiful butterfly and being able to make it in another, entity of our lives, if you will, right? To go from cocoon or from caterpillar to cocoon to butterfly, you have to be willing to go through the process. And that butterfly
Right.
has a story to tell. And we
Right.
don't want to tell the story. We don't want to tell that story. We want to tell a story. We want to tell that story. And most of the time it involves food, drugs, something that's chronic television, something that's going to help us check out of the journey so that we can skate by and just make it through. And when you really, really want to get to the end of something, your daughter would not be at the position now of writing a book and showing other people how to overcome if she had not gone through the journey. I remember you told me one story where she was almost like crippled and couldn't walk and was laying on the floor of her, it's like, really, you have to ask yourself, you want to stay there? Like, look at yourself, like come outside of yourself and look at yourself. You want to be like your friends, but look at where you are.
Yep.
Right.
That's it. You hit the nail on the head. Exactly it. I said there's just 3 phases to overcoming and becoming, and this is a little Tisa B definition. You will not find this on the internet or anything, no matter whether you YouTube it, Google it. This is my definition of overcoming and becoming. I believe if you're going to overcome and become something, first step, you got to embrace it. You got to embrace that this is the situation. You got to be willing to accept that there's nothing you can do about what has happened. This is it. You have to accept it. You have to accept that you can't change what has happened.
Yes.
So once you embrace that, then you can start moving on to the next level. And the next level for me when it comes to overcoming and becoming is the healing part, because that's when you start to overcome, when you heal. If you don't heal, you're not going to overcome. If you don't heal, you're not going to get to the 3rd stage. You're going to try to just breeze through it. You're going to mask it up because it's truly going to be sitting inside of you. Because the next phase of that is transformation. That's the becoming. You are becoming the person that you were meant to be. Because I think our Creator puts us all through challenges in order for us to ascend to the next level. But if a lot of us, when we get through those challenges, we want to back away from it because we don't want to feel it, right? We don't want to feel it. So we back away, and because we back away and push it down and suppress it deep inside, we never get to the next level. We don't get the transformation. We don't. I'm talking about a full transformation because, honey, the woman you see today, this is transformation right here. My daughter is transformation.
Yes.
I'm like, you got to feel it if you want to heal it. That's it.
I love that.
But so many people run from the feeling because that shit hurt. That hurt. It hurts.
Yeah. One of the things I take my clients through is a feelings journal, because a lot of times we say we know our triggers, but we don't know when those triggers are coming until it's too late. I was talking to somebody the other day, and she's going to be on with me in a couple of weeks, and we were talking about suicide. She's starting a nonprofit that deals with suicide for veterans and their families. And she was saying that, and this is so true, she was saying that when you think about something like whatever it is, and I'm just going to use suicide as the example, but whatever it is, it's almost like everybody who knows me knows that I talk about everything from the standpoint of cosmology, the universe, the way the stars align, the way the energy works, as is above, so is below. And so when you look at it from an astrological or cosmologic perspective, when you talk about black holes, they say that you don't know you're on a black hole and up on a black hole until it's too late.
Too late, right?
And once you hear it, it's too late. You're in it, right?
You can't do nothing about it.
And it's the same thing with anything, right? It's almost like if you don't understand what your trigger is, if you don't know that trigger, if you can't dissect that trigger and know when it's coming, by the time it's on you, it's too late. And she said her brother committed suicide, and she almost committed suicide. And it's like you can be right in the midst of a thing, and if you're not dealing with that trigger, it is too, like, you can't stop it. She said a lot of times people try to say that there are things you could do to help someone overcome suicide. And she said, I'm here to tell you, if you don't catch it, it's too late. And that's kind of like transformation with anything, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't catch it, if you don't catch that thing, then it is going to overtake you. If you don't understand what that feeling is, if you don't know what it feels like as it's coming, as it's approaching, I say to people, it's like when you're walking down the street and all of a sudden the hairs on the back of your neck raise up. What does that mean to you?
That's
they're like, oh, it means, right. It's like something around me isn't right. That's your trigger telling you to pay attention. So you have to understand what your body feels like, because every thought has a feeling, and it's tied to that feeling, and it will always be tied to that feeling for life until you do something to change it.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what that is, it's going to overtake you every single time. So I like that. You said 3 phases. Number 1, you have to embrace it. Number 2, you have to heal, because if you don't heal, you won't overcome it. And number 3, you have to be willing to transform. Love it.
Yep. Yep. And actually, the transformation is going to come as a result of the healing.
Right.
That's the transformation. Is like it's given. That's your gift.
Yes.
That's your gift, because you chose to embrace. You chose to feel it, and so your Creator is gifting you with a transformation.
So y'all don't get it twisted, because transformation is the same as changes that you weren't ready for too.
That's right.
Because regardless of whether if you do the work, you're gonna get the gift. If you don't do the work, you're gonna get the damn. What was that? Because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Something's coming. Change always comes. But do you want to be in control of it or not? And do you want the transformation or not? I was coming up, I was writing some stuff earlier and came across this thought where it said there's learning and there's transformation, right? So when you look at a teacher can say that she taught the lesson all day long, right. And she did her job, she taught the lesson. But how many of your students were transformed in the lesson? Right. If they were transformed, then they learned it and they're getting great grades. If they didn't learn the lesson, that means you did your job, you taught the lesson. But you didn't teach anybody. You didn't transform anybody. Right. So do you want to be taught something, or do you want to transform? And I want to transform all day long. And I'm telling you, life will give you lessons. It will teach you something all day long.
All the time. The cool thing is, do you embrace it and transform with it? Or do you just back up and say, I can't. I heard you. I saw it. But I'm going to go this way. I don't want to deal with that no more.
Yeah. And if you do that, guess what? You're still going to get a lesson.
Another lesson. There's always going to be a lesson. Child, always. I have to think through every life challenge I have had in my almost 50 years of life. There's been a life lesson. And some of them I embraced and walked with them. And then some of them are like, I don't want this lesson. I like turn to the side, and say, I'm not doing this. No, I don't want this.
Right.
And there's different paths that comes as a result of that. I remember it was like almost 10 years now when my son died. That wasn't something I was willing to accept. That wasn't something I was willing to go down that route and say, okay, I'm going to embrace. No, it took me almost 4 years to do that. So 4 years, I was trying to walk another path because I didn't want to feel it. I didn't want to accept it. I didn't want to do any of that. But let me tell you something. When I decided, because I was done, I was sick and tired of being sad, upset, pissed off, angry, bitter. I was sick and tired of all that. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to embrace it. And when I embraced it, the healing started and the transformation started. That's it. All on his own. All on his own. And that's in everything that I've just seen happen to me, with my clients, with my daughter. Transformation just comes when you embrace and accept and start that healing process. Healing is something we all should do, but so many of us run from it.
Yes.
Because it hurts. We understand it hurts, but we have to heal. We have to heal.
You said something where I've shared this lately. I've been sharing it a lot. A lot of people didn't know this part of my story, but I think when you and I met, so y'all, let me tell y'all how we met. And hopefully I remember to go back to this story because y'all know how my brain works. But so we met at a veteran function for an organization called Dress for Success. And Latisa was the speaker. And I remember sitting there and I was taking notes and I was like, she is on fire. Oh my gosh, she reminds me of like the way I deliver messages. And so we had never met before, right? So after the message, everybody's going up and like, talking. I walk up and I was like, we gonna work together. And she was like, okay. Like, let me give you my number. Give me your number. Let's get together. We need to work together. And she was like, okay. And we slowly started like talking and building a friendship and supporting one another, supporting one another's goals and dreams. And But what I didn't say to you was, I know you came to my house because you worked in the area, so you came to my house for lunch. I was fresh. I think I had just moved into that house, right?
Yeah.
I was fresh out of hiding. I had been in hiding for years from somebody who had threatened to kill me. I wouldn't let people know where I was. I wouldn't play on the big level. I was kind of giving these big talks on Facebook. I was doing these talks on Facebook for an hour, 2 hours every night. And I was, my moniker, if you will, is the audacity expert. So I'm telling people how to live bold, audacious lives, but I felt like the biggest fraud ever because I'm in hiding from somebody, right? And it was one of my military brothers from high school who said to me, he was like, no, like, T, you don't live like this. He was like, and you've helped so many of us not live like this. He was like, so if I need to come to Texas and, handle some business for you, just let me know. But regardless, like, this is not going to be you. And I remember being upset, like, with God, because I was like, you keep telling me I'm supposed to live this big life, but here I am in this small existence. And like you said a minute ago, my words were this: it's not that I don't believe, and it's not that I can't believe. I'm tired of believing. I'm tired of believing because I just don't know how it's going to play out. But because I had put myself in that small space and was just being squeezed, or to use my brother's word, which is not a word, y'all, do not tell me it's not a word. Y'all know I'm a wordsmith. I know it's not a word, but I was being squeezed. I like that word. I like the wrong version of squeeze because it sounds so much deeper, right? But I was being like, I was being squeezed like in this space that I wasn't supposed to be in. And I was just tired. And I was like, and I'm done. And I think that's what the universe was waiting on. Once I said I was done, like once you open it up and you just
once you hit rock bottom.
Once you hit that bottom. Yeah, and I use those words too. It's like, and I do a lot on belief, where it comes when it, as you tie it into energy. Because I believe that once you speak something into existence, you create the postage stamp for it to go out into the universe, for it to come back to you, right? You're saying, this is what I believe. And as long as you hold on to that belief, energy has no choice but to deliver to you on that same path of which you put it out. But where it falls apart is when it's not that you don't believe, but you disconnect from the belief. Once you say you want something, you got to hold on to that thing no matter what other people say. People can tell you all day long, your dreams are too big, it's never going to happen, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough. You can tell yourself, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, it's not going to happen. But if you keep holding on to that thing, then the universe has no choice but to deliver it because you created it when you spoke it. You just can't disconnect from the belief. And that's what disbelief is. So I said to God, I'm not in disbelief. I'm not disconnecting from it. I'm still holding on to it. I'm just tired. And I'm at the point now where I got a little piece of finger left on it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not holding as tight as I was. I still got my hand on it. But child, if it come, cool. If it don't, fine. Whatever.
Girl, I know.
My life went, yeah. And he just turned everything around.
Just like that.
I started working with the homeless, being out the house, like everything changed because I allowed myself to go through that process, to feel it, to be done with it, and to just let go.
And when you let go, that's it. When you let go, everything that's intended for you will be for you. But you got to get out of your own way. Let it go.
Yes. Yeah. That's why when I approached her and said we need to work together, that's probably why I was so aggressive, because I was ready at that point. I was so tired of being cooped up. I was like, girl, let's go.
and then I think it was like a while before we communicated, because then I came to your workshop at the United with the Veterans thing, and I sat in your workshop. And after the workshop, you came up to me and you like, you remember me? And I'm like, no. You said, I was the one that came up to you after the thing and I said, let's work. I said, oh, okay, when we going to do this then? Because now I get to see you in action. Before I didn't know who you was. I didn't see you. You saw me, but I didn't see you. But after I sat in your workshop, I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Yes.
We got some fire here. Let's do this.
I told you when I met you, I was like, yeah, we cut from the same cloth. We got a different way of attacking it. And that's what makes it so perfect, because people don't always need to hear it the exact same way.
Right.
After doing this for years by myself, I just started a couple of weeks ago. This is my third Sunday or fourth Sunday now, inviting somebody to come on with me. Because I said, well, people know how I'm going to bring it, right? I'm going to bring it from that audacious, if God called you and he purposed you for it, nobody can tell you differently. Like, how dare you try to even tell me differently? I know who I am because he purposed me, not you, right? So that's my whole mindset. I was like, we need some other people. We need some other voices, some fresh voices to come in and be able to deliver this message in a conversation, not an interview, but like, let's have a conversation. Let's attack this thing so people can walk away with what they're supposed to get by hearing it different ways. And yeah. And then wait, y'all. I have to tell y'all, because then she tried that crap of, girl, I don't do video. I don't want to do. I'm nervous about doing video. I don't know what to do with that. And I was
my goodness.
I was like, do you even hear yourself? I was like, that ain't even who I see. What are you talking about?
I remember that, sitting at your kitchen table, we trying to strategize, and I'm like, girl, I don't like lives. I don't like video.
Right.
Look, give me a mic and a stage. You can even put thousands of people in the audience, and I'll get up there and rock it like it's nothing. But just put one camera, and I used to freak out with a camera. And you say, Leticia, just do a live. I said, I don't know. Just do one live. I think it still must have took me a couple of months before I did a live.
And y'all, she ain't stopped. She went from doing a live to lives to dancing on lives to now a TV show.
Two
TV shows. Now mind y'all, let me tell y'all, that was about a year and a half ago.
Oh, got to be about a year and a half ago. You're right.
That's about a year and a half ago. So look at that transformation, right? God either gonna leave you sitting on your couch talking about, I'm scared of lives, or you're gonna do that first one and somebody's gonna notice you, and then you're gonna have 2 TV shows, 3 books, you know.
Yeah, three and a half books later, 2 TV shows later.
And I think I said, you mind if I put my coaching hat on for a minute? I said, because that don't even sound right. Like, that sounds so like this. You're like disingenuous and disengaged, or like it's not, you're disconnected from you. Like, what is that? That's no, ma'am. No, you got this.
It's getting out of your own way, you know. It's me getting out of my way to allow who I am supposed to be to manifest. You know, if I keep allowing that I had about being vulnerable on social media, about being vulnerable to people, I'm like, girl, what you worry about them people? They don't pay your bills.
Yes.
They don't like what you got to say. Don't tune in, shucks.
Yeah.
Your show. They don't like to say, get their own show. Look, I did all that. So I'm like, I don't care if you don't tune in, because you know what? My show has helped so many different women. The women that I'm looking for it to help, it's helped them. So I'm like, I don't care about those that got things to say ain't got their own show though. Right.
Yeah. Right. You know that part.
That part, right? They ain't doing nothing, but they always want to criticize and critique somebody else. Like, what you doing? What you doing to impact the lives of others?
I read something the other day and it kind of crushed my heart a little bit, because everybody was like trying to get these Clubhouse invites, and somebody was like, why everybody want to get on Clubhouse so they can have another struggle show? And I was like, and I wasn't offended because I thought they were talking about me. It didn't matter, but I'm like, I hate when we look at other people's dreams, hopes, and aspirations and tell them to sit down. How dare you tell somebody to sit down because you don't want to watch the show? Like you just said, you ain't got to watch my show. My show is intended to help the people it's supposed to help. If it's not supposed to be, you keep stepping in the direction that you're supposed to step in.
You can lead the negativity where it's at.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But they called it a struggle show, and I was like, I got hurt. Like
they probably should be the main one looking at the doggone show.
You know, I think it was, I want to say it was a family member of mine from church, or a church family member or something, but I sat for a minute and I was just like, all I could see were the words, you know, like when you see in this, see those cartoons and stuff and they take the word struggle show. Like I was sitting there with those words and I was so hurt and offended for all the people who want to start something and would read that and want to go back into their corner and get discouraged.
They will get really discouraged, especially if they're not there fully yet. They're getting out of their comfort zone.
Yes.
You know, they're doing something different. You could discourage somebody. Really.
Yes.
And it's like, who are you to discourage somebody when, even if you had your own stuff, that's still not for you to discourage the next person, because everybody's different. Everybody has a purpose. Don't take them out of their purpose because they may not be as confident yet in their abilities. They're growing. Because, Lord, I admit, if you want to like, hey, girl, Leticia, you can do that live. You can do that live. You know, you're like, girl, don't get on there and do that live, girl. I probably wouldn't have did it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you encouraging me to do the live, but you encouraging me to get out on camera. It made it a little bit easier. I'm like, okay, Noah got my back. She's encouraging me, so that built me up to take that next step. Versus you saying, girl, that Facebook girl, they're gonna be doing this and they're gonna be doing, that would have tore me down and then fed really into my insecurities, or fed into, my beliefs of why I don't want to get on social media. And then I would have never did it. And there would be no shows.
Yeah.
To another.
Yep. And people don't realize that. Realize that. So I love that. I love what you said. You ain't gotta watch my show. I tell people you don't have to come to my live. And so and people forget. It's not in the numbers that you see. Like right now on the studio, I don't know what numbers you see, but right now, so I'm on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook. I think it shows us the Facebook numbers, but it doesn't show us all the numbers. But then the replay numbers. So people get discouraged because they'll go on and they'll say, not too many people joined in. So what? Your video is going to be out there in infamy, right? Let people watch it when they get to it. Yeah. Do what you're supposed to do, and then put it back on he who purposed you for this journey. The numbers are on him.
Yeah. The person who needs to see it will see it.
Will see it, right? And if you're talking about the things that you're intended to talk about, then the person they're going to tap in at the right time. Just like you've probably heard the same thing on your show. I've had people come to me over these last 15 years to say, oh my gosh, I saw you on such and such. That was the word I needed at that moment. Oh, yeah. So I may be here for one person. I may be here for 50 people. And let me tell y'all, I watch my own show after the fact. I may be here for me, because them years when I was in hiding and, I was saving my own life, because a lot, people who know me know I talk. I just blah, blah, blah. Right. So half the time I'm in the conversation and I'm not listening to it. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah. Right. People ask me a question and I'm riffing. I don't know. I'm just riffing off of what comes from here. Right.
Exactly.
Yep. Then later I go back and listen to it and I be like, well, that was good. Let me write that down. Then I take notes on my own stuff, girl.
Yeah, we like that. Look, I did that with my own book. I went to read my book because a young lady, her child recently died, and somebody gifted her with the book, because that's what I do. I recommend anybody that has lost. Okay. So the resurrection, life after death of the child. This is a blueprint. Something for, mothers, if they don't know what to do, this is what they can do. Well, somebody gift the book to to somebody. They gift the book, because I always say, hey, if you want to do something for a mother, gift her a book, because this book will help in ways that you can't, because you don't know her shoes. You've never walked her journey. And if you never walked her journey, it's kind of hard to support somebody, and you don't really understand what is she going through at this moment. Well, the book was gifted to her, and the mother reached out to me. And she told me, she said, thank you so much for writing this book, because this book has stopped me from doing something stupid. I do see there is a life after. And I tell you, just take your time. It does get easier. Will the pain ever always go away? It will get easier. It will not be where it's a point where the pain that they're feeling at this moment, that it exists at this same intensity. But you got to be willing to go through that whole embrace thing. Embrace, heal, and then transform. Because my son's anniversary is in 7 days. 10 years since he was taken from me. 10 years. And I am in another place where if you would have caught me 4 or 5 years ago, girl, this January, because December he was born, January he died.
Oh, wow.
He had just turned 19 years old. So this whole 2 months is like, it's an emotional roller coaster for me. I used to be like this, child, I'm good because I'm at peace with it. I've embraced my life. I've actually embedded my son's legacy in me. And so I live and do everything through him. This is for my son. My son will remain, It's like, yes, I may not get any grandkids from him. I may not be able to carry the family name on, but his legacy still exists, because anybody that buys a book, anybody that tunes into Latisa B, anybody that, watch anything that I do, they know of my baby. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They know of him. He does not end there. He's still, and then his gift to me has been Latisa B. And Latisa B's impact in the world is my legacy as well. So, hey, I've taken that tragedy and I've embraced it, and it has become me.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
how we do. That's how we do with anything that changes us. We have
Yes.
to embrace it. We have to make it be a part of us, and we can't separate and say, I don't want to deal with that no more. That's in any and everything, no matter what it is, no matter what. And that's
Yeah.
what I tell my clients that come through. They come through me for different reasons. Look, it doesn't matter what it is. Make it become a part of you. If you
Yeah.
try to run away from it and carve it out, it will never happen. It has to become a part of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have you wait. I'm trying to type that. One day I'm gonna have a producer, and then I won't be trying to do this part and then that part and then.
Right.
Speaking into existence, producer, where you at? But so yeah, I wanna do it close up. Show you put your book, put all your books up one more time. So put the Life After Death one up.
This the life
Resurrection, Life
after
After the
death.
Death of Your Child. Okay. Okay. Now the next one.
This is Unleash the Woman Inside of You.
Wait. There, pull it back a little bit because I see light. There we go. Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Girl, I think you can see it. But all my books can be purchased on LatissaB.com on my website. Just LatissaB.com.
The letter B or BE?
BE. That's my name, BE.
Okay. Yeah. I just like for people to see them.
Oh, I understand. So yeah, I don't have the look. The juicing one is not yet. It's not ready yet.
What's the name? Oh, the juicing one. That's
right.
Yeah.
It's called Juice with Us, a healing guide to eliminating the pain.
And you're gonna have color photos and things of that nature.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So it's going to definitely be a book that's going to help so many people who don't know. Because there's so much information out there. I mean, there's information out there on everything. It's whether you put it together to make it make sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it real quick because the title of this show comes off of the title of your talk show. How did you come up with the title Overcoming and Becoming?
You know, I was talking to the producer of the show and the producer of the network, and she was like, Latissa, she's the one that actually said, Latissa, I think a talk show will go great with your brand. I'm like, what? She's like, you're a grief coach, and this is what you do. You do transformation, and this is going to help. This is going to bring you out there and bring you visible, and you get to help people on a bigger scale. You get to coach people that's not next to you. And I'm like, okay. So I thought about it, and so she was actually going off of the business with my daughter, the holistic healing business, but that's not Latissa B. Latissa B is the coach. Latissa B is the transformation. Latissa B is all about healing and letting emotional pain go. That's what Latissa B is about. And so I said, okay, well, as she's talking to me, she said, you got to have a show that aligns with your brand. You got to have a show that's what about is Latissa B, and it speaks no matter what. It got to stand on its own. And so as she's talking, the name just popped up in my head. And I stopped her in her tracks. I said, I got my name on my show. She said, what? I said, Overcoming and Becoming. She said, God damn it, that's you, Latissa. I said, I know. And let me tell you, the chills just came all down my arms. And I was like, oh my God, that's my show's name. Oh, because it is who I am. It's what I do. It's what I propose. It's what I get my clients to do. It's all about that. It's overcoming what you're going through right now to become who you're supposed to be. Because, we all have a gift. We all were given a purpose. Everybody was given a purpose when you was created. This is for you, Latissa. This is for you, Tanoa. But what happens in life is that when we go through all these challenges that's supposed to take us to the next level, we don't feel it. We don't embrace it. And so we push it down on top of our purpose, on top of our gift, and it gets buried deep and deep and deep. So my whole thing is, look, let's release all that stuff that's covering up your gift. Let's get rid of it. Let it all go. If you let it go, then your gift can manifest. Your gift can shine. Your gift can take you to the next level. So that's really how Overcoming and Becoming became about, because the show is actually about, it's about different dimensions of healing, about any and everything. So even though I started off as a grief coach with moms who've lost their children, I transitioned into helping women to let go of emotional pain. Because what I found through that whole journey of coaching women is that there's not much I can do about, losing your baby. You have to feel that. You got to feel it. And there's nothing I can say, do, take away that pain. But what we were talking about had nothing to do with the loss. It was all about what they were feeling that came back from the past that they never healed. And so all the loss, all the pain, all the heartache from the past, it came back up along with the loss of their child. And so now their whole world is just discombobulated at this moment. So I'm like, well, if I can go back and help you heal before you lose a loved one, that's going to significantly transform your life. You're only dealing with that loss. You're not dealing with the loss of everything else that's been happening in your past. Relationships, jobs, people betraying you. People want to murder you. You ain't dealing with none of that stuff because you grieved it as it happened. So now, you just got one thing to deal with on your heart at a time. And that'll help your journey be a little less longer.
Yeah.
So that's really how Overcoming and Becoming the show came about, because I know everybody don't have good girlfriends. Like, they can't pick up the phone and call Tanoa and say, Tanoa, girl, look, I got an issue and I'm going to get sound advice. So I figured, you know what, let my TV show be that. So I invite women that had all different type of challenges in life. And these women, they all came on, and the only requirement I had for them, you got to tell people how you got through it. That's it.
Yeah.
Got to give people advice. So I got some common issues. Tell us what happened, and then how did you get through it? Because I believe some woman is in your shoes and she's watching the show right now.
Yes.
So if she's watching this show, then if she doesn't know what to do, at least she knows she can try what you did, because it worked. And that's Overcoming and Becoming. We are a teaching show. It ain't just.
I love that.
It ain't just a struggle bus. We're trying to help people overcome.
It ain't just a struggle show.
No, it ain't a struggle show. Nah, then you ain't on the struggle show. You on that bus. That's another bus. Because we all have struggles. We all go through stuff. But it's like, how do you come out of it? And if you don't have people to teach you how to come out of it, how do you know how to come out of it? You don't. Yeah. You sit there and you suffer, and you don't need to suffer as long as you suffer. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to suffer. Because let me tell you something. When I was dealing with my son, I suffered way longer than I need to suffer. And a lot of it probably had to do with me, because even though I sought help out, the help was crap.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't walked my journey, how you gonna tell me don't be mad at this man that murdered my child? If you ain't walked my journey, so I don't care what your license say. I don't care your little tick mark say you got grief specialization. Child, can you understand my pain? No. I had a real hard time in the beginning, because I didn't get somebody, or there isn't too many people that were actually certified that walk my journey, because the insurance only pay for that. They don't pay for coaching. And coaching is what I really needed. I didn't need you to give me a prescription or anything, which they like to give you prescriptions to make me sleep, to make me not feel, but didn't I just say you gotta feel it to heal it? Didn't I say that? But why how to heal it if you're giving me with pills to make me sleep so I don't feel it? Yeah, because you just want my money. Look, you put me in that recurring revenue bucket. That's what you're doing.
My coaching programs are, the max is 12 sessions. After that, if you still need me after 12 sessions, I become a crutch. Yeah. Now you can come back a year later or whatever have you, but we don't need another 12 sessions after that, and then another 12 sessions, because I shouldn't be your crutch. But when you go to traditional therapy, and let me tell you, y'all know my degrees are in psychology, so I'm all for the psychological treatment, right? But when you go to traditional psychologists, what do they say at the end of your session? See you next week.
Oh, yeah.
They don't say this is it after this third session. They don't say your insurance not paying anymore, so you probably shouldn't come back. They just say, how would you like to handle the billing for the next session? They don't even release you. You need somebody that's going to look at you and say, I'm teaching you how to stand on your own 2 feet. I'm teaching you how to look forward and see where it is you want to go so that you can actually have a plan to get there. I'm teaching you the Army way of thinking through the process, seeing yourself at the end and bringing yourself back to where you are so that as you approach this journey, you may run into a brick wall, but you're not going to give up because you have contingencies in this thing.
That's right.
You know, the Army taught us nothing else if they didn't teach us how to come up with a couple contingency plans.
Come up
If
with
you can't go
plans.
through if you can't go through the door, go through the window. The window locked, go through the floor, drill a hole in the floor, kick the door down. You gonna do something, but you're not giving up. That's for sure.
Nope.
Right?
You didn't give up. You find a way.
So I put this up earlier. I'm gonna put this definition back up. So the definition of that's the name of the show. So hold on, y'all. I'm still working this out. Yeah, my bachelor's degree, believe it or not, is in media production. I actually went to school for this and I moved to Hollywood to produce, direct, and all that stuff. And look at me trying to operate a internet studio and struggling. So still paying back student loans and struggling. So to overcome, to defeat in competition and conflict, to conquer. So when you overcome something, that means that you have to defeat it. In order to defeat something, defeat by the very name of the defeat means you have to fight. You can't sit on your couch and eat bonbons. You have to remember who you are and whose you are. People say that all the time when it's applicable to church. You have to know who you are and whose you are. But really, you have to know whose you are. You are yours because when you were born, God didn't call you by your name. He don't call you Latisa. He don't call me Tanoa. Purpose calls us by the name in which we were sent here for. Purpose calls us coach, teacher, speaker, mother, whatever. Like whatever your title is, that's what we're called. And so when you look at your life, in order to overcome something, you have to fight it in the lens of that which you were sent here for. Mm-hmm. I can't fight you on the lens of being a professional supermodel. First of all, I can walk in some 4-inch heels before, after a while I'm taking them off. That wasn't my ministry. That's not my gift. You know what I mean?
Said, that ain't my ministry.
Right. That's not it. So I can't fight you on that level. I have to fight you where my tools are. And my tools reside on the coaching side, right? My tools reside on the psychological side. I talk about all the time, I coined this phrase, the subconscious quicksand. And when you think about it, like if you think about real quicksand, when you fall into quicksand, the only way out of quicksand is if somebody has some leverage and they can pull you out.
Pull you out. That's it.
You need somebody on a higher level that can pull you up and pull you out. If you and I are misery buddies, right? If every time I got a bad story and I call you and you be like, and I'm trying to tell you my misery and you cut me off to tell me your misery, we in quicksand together.
Yeah.
We not getting out. It's like, why call you? You just teaching me how to wiggle on in there.
Thank you.
I need somebody a little higher. I need somebody when I'm struggling that can say to me, Tanoa, you got this. Tanoa, you can do a live video. Latisa, you can do a live video, girl. I don't know what. Can I put my coaching hat on? Because I don't even see that. That's a disconnect for me. Like that, you fighting hard to even try to prove it to yourself. No, ma'am, you got this. Like everything about your energy said to me when I met you that day that you were exactly who you are continuing to become. So it didn't even fit. And I'm one of those people, I can't even let you sit in. I'd be like, that don't even fit. That's just, I don't even know.
And you know what's the kill part to know? I had no evidence that I couldn't do it. None. Right. I had no evidence to say why I didn't want to do it, why I couldn't do it. I had nothing. It was me and my own brain and my own mind telling me, yeah, you ain't that. It was me. Nothing told me I couldn't do this. Nothing.
Right. And then you did it and it was like, oh, that's nothing. You want to know why? Because that was the tool in your toolbox and you just played with it. You pulled it out and you used it. You know, the Army taught us plenty of tricks of the trade. Like, my favorite military trick of the trade is an M16. Approach me if you want to. I am a very good shot. I dare you, It's like, but you put something else in my hand and I may have to learn it for a little while. But you put that in my hand and it's, game over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the Mario Brothers? Right. Like I'm in it all day. But you have to play. In order to overcome, you have to overcome based on the tools in your toolbox.
Yeah.
And you can't use anybody else's. If you wear a size 8 and somebody wears a size 6 and you don't have any shoes for the day, you can put those on if you want to, but you're gonna be in some pain and your feet gonna hurt.
Yeah,
you can't fit them.
Yeah, they will.
So find your tools in your toolbox in order to overcome and become. And I love what you said. If you need to call somebody, put people in your phone and put, on speed dial who are the leverage, who can pull you up. You don't want the people when you got a bad story, they're trying to outdo your story. Girl, that ain't nothing. Let me tell you what happened to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear. No, please don't tell me what happened to you. I'm carrying enough. Like I don't want to hear it. But with people like you and I, this is our ministry, right? So yeah,
Right.
so let me tell you, we just go, okay, because that's what we do. Like, do you get this? I could be out somewhere minding my business, and random people just come up and tell you their business.
Girl, I go shopping. Let me tell you, I'm shopping, and people gravitate to me, and we're just chatting up a conversation, and before you know it, they spilling their life to me, crying in front of me, and they're like so embarrassed, and I'm like, sweetie, don't worry, it's my gift. Hey, you have a safe space with me, and I tell them a little bit about who I am and what I do, and it's like, oh, that's why I say, yeah, don't even take it. It's okay. It's okay that it was meant for me to come here. You must have asked for some help. And then I was sent to this store at this moment. So you can share that story and allow them tears to come out. Because them tears is still some pain being released. And, I share a few words of encouragement. I'm like, look, if you was my client, I tell you this. Yeah, oh, trust me, it happens to me way more than I would like. Yeah.
I have had a guy I didn't know come up to me to tell me, and I didn't know he was married to a woman I did know. We were all at a party together. He came up to tell me all the business. He spilled all the marital tea. And I was just like, and he was like half drunk too. He was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what made me start talking to you. He said, but when you walked up, something just said, that's the person you want to talk to right there. He was like, do you get that a lot? And I said, yeah, I do psych for a living. So I've been getting it since I was 5. Like literally adults who come up to me when I was a kid to ask for help or guidance, of a 5-year-old. And then get mad at me if I told them something they want to hear. Well, a kid should stay in the kid place. Well, why
kids ain't got no filter. You want to know exactly. But that's why that's why the adults, they have that thing that says kids seen and not heard, because when a kid tells you something, they telling you real and you ain't ready to receive real.
You're not ready.
You ain't ready to receive real. That's why they shut their babies up.
Yeah, so why you come to me in the first place if you already knew what you were gonna get, which is why you came to me. But then when I told you, then you got mad and it's like, well, stay in your place. I am in my place, but thanks, because that's why you came to me, because I was in my place. So appreciate you.
You definitely want some unbiased opinion. You want a plan to get forward on the next step. Oh, to come to me. But if you're looking for somebody that's gonna sugarcoat, somebody that's not gonna tell you the real, that you want somebody that's just gonna be poor as you on the pity train. It's not. It's not me. Especially look, when I think about the journey I done been through, child, if you ain't matching, you ain't coming close. Look, I can't do the pity thing. I can't do the pity thing. And I think that's really why I transition, not to talk about pity as far as with my clients, but I transition from dealing with grief parents or grief from an aspect of loss of a loved one to grief from an aspect of transformation. Because I'm what I got to tell you, I'm trying to get you to transform so you let that stuff go so you can go there. But when you grieving the loss of your child, you ain't ready for that. It's going to take you a few years. And I'm like, okay, well, what I got to give, you ain't ready. So let me work with people who are ready, and losing a loved one, especially a baby, in a certain time period, then you're not ready. And I'm honest with it, and I tell them you're not ready. Whether they know it's good for them or not, emotionally, they're not ready to move on because they still got a level of healing from the loss of their child. And I'm like trying to transform them. It's like, it's not right now.
And I'm glad you said that, because for years I tried to tone me down some, but I tell clients when they come to work with me, I tell people if they come into my office and close my door, when I used to work at Disney, people who would be the main ones talking about me behind my back would be the main ones at my office door. Tanoa, can I talk to you for a minute? And it's like, but let's be clear, right?
Yeah.
I shoot straight from what I see. And I'm not talking about from a standpoint of you as a human being. I'm talking about what I see purpose-wise, right? If I see a disconnect, I'm going to let you know there's a disconnect. If I call BS, I'm gonna let you know it's BS, right? But because my job is kind of like what you said. My job is to help you get through where you are now, so you can live the fullest existence of who you are. I have
Exactly.
always lived in the mindset of audacity. And my favorite definition of audacity is to have a shameless boldness and an arrogant disregard for what others may think, feel, or see, believe, right? To have an arrogant disregard. So don't come to me if you need me to be, well, girl, I don't know. Yeah, you might be right. No, that's not what's about to happen today. You know, and I get people all the time who they love to come to me for me to show them their audacity. But when I step into my own, now they have a problem. It's like, oh, you so vain and arrogant. You know what my response is? I piss him off every time. My response is, oh my God, thank you.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's a compliment.
I can see that.
That's a compliment. Because when God birthed me, he called me exactly what he sees. How dare I not give him back what he gave me, right? Why am I supposed to now play small to make somebody? We're not supposed to. We had a 1 in 400 trillion chance of being who we are.
Yes.
And we made it.
We were selected. Yes.
And right. I made it.
Yes.
You could have, girl, you could have been to Noah. I'm sorry. But you know, like my life was, girl, woo. But you could have been me, and I could, you know what I mean? Like you had a 1 in 400 trillion chance of being who you are. You were selected into that role. Why would you dumb that down for somebody else to feel comfortable when they're not comfortable in their own skin?
Yeah. My daughter she says, Mommy, you extra sometimes. I say, you know, and I denied being extra for a long time. And then I had to sit in and I say, you know, I am extra. I am, you know, look, I can be this real reserved person that sit in the back and just chill and watch. But when I'm called to do something, whatever comes out, comes out. I don't try to, I don't try to put a light on. I don't try to cover it or nothing. Hey, if that's who she is, that's who she is. You either gonna like me or you're not gonna like me. That's it. That's the way I see it. You're gonna like me or you're not gonna like me.
And I'm used to more so of the people not liking me. So
I don't know.
You know, you're in good company. Just like
I don't know. You like me, you don't like me. That's it. I don't even worry about if you don't like me.
Right. It's none of my business at the end of the day. But hey, you know, I'm expecting you not to like me because I could tell the way you approach me that we were going to have a difference of opinion because you approach me not in the space where you're supposed to be. And I'm about to give you some information to get you there, and it's going to be uncomfortable, and you don't want to hear it. So you gonna walk away going, this is what I used to get growing up. She thinks she know everything. Oh, you know, yeah, okay. Right. Oh, okay, girl.
Look, okay. Oh, okay.
you too, huh?
Okay. Yeah.
You always got to be right.
No yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you saying, look, since you want to throw it out there.
I tell people, look. It took me a long time to know the stuff that I know. And I'm not saying that it's right.
Money spent too.
But if you want me to not know what I know, you have to give me the information to combat what I already know and show me why I need to change my mind. And if you can't do that, it's not going to be easy. You're not going to leave me around by the nose. Give me some information. I'll take notes. I'm listening. I'm processing, right? But I'm not just going to give up being me because you walked on the scene and told me that I wasn't right or good enough. It's like, did you just meet me? Right? No.
You know, I'm open to hearing anybody's thing. It probably won't change the way I see it just yet. It's going to, like you said, it's going to take a minute. You got to really show me. You got to come correct what you're saying. If you're truly going to change the way I see something, or for me to see it differently, it got to be more than just, well, because I said so.
Absolutely.
You got to you got to take me along a journey so that I see it from your perspective. And I'm like, okay, I can get with that. And then if you take me on that journey and I say, no, I'm calling BS on that one.
But thanks for playing.
Yeah.
Well, this has been funners. Thank you for joining me.
You're so welcome. Thank you for the invite.
You're welcome.
This is the most activity I've had all day today. You know, I'm chill all day. My hubby was at work most of the day, so when you sent me that text message reminder, I'm like, oh yeah, that is tonight.
I know you were like, I forgot. I was like, dang, I'm glad my feelings don't get hurt easily.
No, I just do
Forgot.
so much, Tanoa. So much, my mind and my schedule is always so busy. So sometimes, because I
Yes.
didn't put it on my schedule, it was like, text Cecil, would you mind going? No, I'm good. But I didn't put it on my schedule. See, that's what
Yeah.
happened. I didn't add it to my schedule. I know I was supposed to do it, but when I didn't add it to my schedule, yeah.
So if I were to get upset with you, then it would be a lot of people calling BS because girl, you don't even know the amount of people. The worst thing I think I do is people text me and then I don't respond, or they call and I forget to call them back. And when I do call them back, I'm like, I'm returning your call, and they be like, that was 2 months ago, and I'm like, for real, So yeah, I get it. I so get it. But make sure you have the 20th, Thursday the 20th, on your schedule. You know what that is, right? Y'all, she's on the board
A
of my
board meeting, right?
nonprofit. Yes. She's on the
Okay.
board of my nonprofit. I don't want to hear that. All y'all heard it. All y'all heard it. So on Thursday, if I put on Facebook that she missed the meeting, I want all y'all to say, we heard you say you had it on your schedule. I want y'all to call it. Call it.
Call me out. Call me out. Thursday,
Yes,
Thursday the 20th. I'm putting that on my schedule right now because yeah. Thursday is not a 20th. Wednesday is the 20th.
Oh, but what's Thursday?
The 21st.
Uh-oh.
So which one is it now? Who calling who?
Hold please. So you're right. It's Thursday the 21st. I don't even know anymore. I'll tell you in Telegram. How about that?
Okay, see, don't be jumping on me.
Oh, you know what happened? It was a Thursday, and then somebody said they needed Wednesday, so it's Wednesday the 20th. That's where I got confused. Y'all, I'm back. Guess who's back? Hey,
Okay, so it is Wednesday the 20th.
It's Wednesday the 20th.
See, I'm not going to forget that because I actually have another board meeting because I'm on the board of the Houston Hospice. It's on that Wednesday as well. So I won't forget.
So it couldn't be that. So I don't, okay, you know what? I'm so confused. Y'all ignore everything I said about if she missed it because now I don't know. So now I have to go into my own board meeting stuff to see when the actual meeting is. It might be this Thursday and then we switch it to Wednesdays. I really don't know. Now I don't know. Now you done confuse me. One of us will be there.
Just let me know. I'll put it on my schedule. But see, the thing is, this one's in the evening where my other meetings are in the daytime.
In the daytime. Oh, good.
So that way it's still
be able to make either one. Okay. So yeah, now I'm so confused and so embarrassed because I should know, but I know we had that switch. We went Thursday and somebody said they needed a Wednesday, and y'all already know how I am. So anyway, today was Overcoming and Becoming with Latisa B. If you guys don't know about Latisa from this conversation and want to know more, you should want to know more because she's an amazing person who can help you get through just about anything, from the things she's experienced in her own personal life to the fact that she is military trained to the fact that she has been a kick-ass rock star in corporate America for all these years. Reach out. And you can go to her website. I'm going to put her website back on real quick, but it's Latisa, LATISABE.com. That's LatisaB.com. And if you have never seen her show, you can Google Overcoming and Becoming, or you can go to YouTube and you can watch them on YouTube. But I know it comes on Roku and Amazon and what else?
It's on all the major platforms streaming, but definitely you can go to not have to download the channel. You can go to my YouTube channel. I upload all my shows on my YouTube channel, which is just my name, Latisa B, and you can see every episode from it's 12 of them out there. I'm on season break right now. I pick back up in another month or so recording season 2. But one of the things that I always like to end my shows with was my words that I quote, that I said, no matter what happens in life, there's always life. You just have to embrace it. Just embrace it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll add mine to that. You can be, have, and do anything that you want to have, be, and do in this life. You just have to have the audacity to believe it. They go together so well. Embrace it and have the audacity to believe it.
We need to do this thing, Tanoa.
We need to, right?
We need to do this thing.
Let's go.
Okay, you ain't saying nothing but a thing.
See, I can say that, but I just don't know what my board meetings are. Anyway, I will see y'all next week. Next week we're gonna have another amazing Conversations with the Warrior. I hope to see you next week, and Latisa will be back. I got a number. She can't
Yeah.
dodge me now, y'all.
All
I
you
got
gotta
my
do
phone
is
number.
just hit me up and say, Tisa, join me for a conversation.
And make sure y'all get her new book, Juicing. Make
Yeah.
so you can be healthy, especially when you look at what's happening with the world today, coronavirus, and wanting to stay virus free. Reach out to her. I'm telling y'all, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Latisa, thank you.
Bye, y'all. Goodbye, y'all.
Bye.
It was a pleasure. Love you, Tanoa.
Mwah.
And
Love you
I look
too.
forward to hanging out with you again.
Yes, soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, girl.